We're live.
What is up, everybody? David here, and today is the first episode of Dave's Corner, and this is going to be a weekly series on the Savage Podcast channel. And what we're going to be doing really is just talk about, what's been released for the week and what's in theaters and what's in the $2 theaters. So just kind of get an insight so that way everybody can have options to what movies they want to see, if they want to wait till the $2 theaters, if y'all have one in y'all's location. It's very convenient if y'all do. So that way you can see all the movies you missed out on the initial release. But other than that, it's just going to be like maybe 20 minutes, 30-minute segments each week. So it's not very long. So it just all depends on what's coming out for the week. So anyways, I am joined by my partner, Harry from Sandman's PR Vlogs.
What's up, everybody?
So, Harry, you excited to get this new, I guess you could say, series started?
Well, this is our first standalone Dave's Corner in 2020. And the goal, like you said, this is for those who would like an update on what's coming to physical media. Maybe they're physical copy collectors like yourself. I know your movie collection is almost as important to you as your action figure collection. It's a very, very huge part of your collection. And there are still quite a bit of physical copy buyers and completists out there that want to have the DVD. They want the Blu-ray. They want the 4K. They want the Steelbook. So, and we can also discuss the streaming services as well. As changes come with the streaming services, we'll be sure to let you know on this program what we know to be coming to each streaming service and what's leaving, and we'll keep you in the know on that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. This week's release, we're going to start off with the physical media release, and then we'll go to what's going on in the theaters and then so forth.
Okay.
But like I said, not much coming out this week as far as mainstream titles that everybody would know and want to check out. It's just mainly a whole lot of anime that's been released. About 95% of it, I have no idea what they are. So if you want to know what's released in that section, go to Blu-rays.com and check that out and go to the new release section and then check out this week of January the 7th. And it'll give you a list of all the anime stuff that's been coming out that has been released this week. But the main one that I know that most of us pretty much knows about is Berserk. Yeah. And the complete series has been released on Blu-ray this week. And I'm for one interested in seeing it. So I've heard a lot of good things about it, and like you had mentioned before to me, that it is a very violent anime. So we'll have to check that out and see what
that
all
is,
the gory.
If you're not into very gory, very bloody anime, you're not going to enjoy Berserk, because over the top violence is its main language.
Right. And also, Joker has been released on DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. And you have yet to see that, right? Have you?
No, not yet. I'm working on it. I've actually been going to my local libraries and seeing if they have a copy to borrow, and I'm trying to see it. I'm working on it.
So, very good movie. Highly recommend it. So, can't wait to see.
Have you picked it up yet? Are you going to own it?
I will eventually. It's not something I'm in a rush to.
You don't have to get it immediately. It's still fresh in your head.
Right.
You immediately need it. But when you do plan, is it going to be a Steelbook edition? Is it going to be? What do you think?
I usually
would be all right.
Yeah, Blu-ray would be fine. I usually try to reserve the Steelbooks for more obscure movies. If I was going to do the Steelbook release, it would have to be because I have all the other ones in Steelbook format, and I don't. So I just don't want to have to.
It doesn't have to be uniform if you don't even already started down that path.
Exactly. So,
Mhm.
and then the Lighthouse came out on the
Oh,
Blu-ray DVD in 4K, and that has William Dafoe
yeah,
and oh boy, that's playing the new Batman. What's his name?
right.
The
Yeah,
Twilight guy.
yeah, him.
Yeah, I just can't remember his name on the top of my
Me
head.
either.
But
Pattinson,
yeah, that
Robert Pattinson.
Pattinson, yes. And but those are the three main titles that are I'm familiar with that have been released on.
I want to check out that
Uh,
Lighthouse movie. What about you?
yes, I do. I've heard pretty good things about it. I heard it's really creepy. It's got a little creep vibe to it. So
Yeah.
that's always good. So those are the three main titles that I know of, that I'm aware of, that most of y'all probably are familiar with. But like I said, if you want to know more about any other titles, or if there's any to mention as far as when physical copies come out, let me know so that way I can
Yeah.
have a list. So that way, if I miss something, I can be on top of that. Or y'all can just check out, like I mentioned before, Blu-rays.com, and they have a whole list of everything that's coming out and all sorts of news on that area.
Yeah,
So
comment
jumping
below,
into
guys. You
what's
can let
being
Dave know what you want more details on. By commenting, you can dictate what he reports on the next corner episode by requesting information on
yes.
select genres. And so, well, I'll let you. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Um, also, so now, excuse me. So now let's go ahead and jump in. What's playing in theaters currently?
Okay.
Right now, what we have is that came out that I've heard is pretty good is 1917.
Oh, yeah.
It's a it's a war movie about a guy that's gonna be sent out with a couple other guys to find his brother, and
Right.
so hopefully that movie is as good as what they say it is. And then we have Star Wars: The Rise of
It's set
Skywalker.
during the First World War,
Yeah,
1917, and there's not many films that focus on that timeline in cinema. World War II is the one that has been beaten like a dead horse. There's always World War II movies, so rarely do movies, especially in this modern era, do you see ones based on World War One, and that's what makes this movie, so drastically
right.
different.
So hopefully that will kickstart something fresh that we will be able to see other aspects of that particular era in that
Yeah,
particular war, and hear
exactly.
more stories. I know we get all these documentaries and stuff,
Right.
and it's been documented to death, but
Yes.
as far as seeing a motion picture, this is pretty exciting.
It is. It looks very well made. The cinematography, the acting, it has. It just screams a high caliber, period accurate war movie, kind of like the Dunkirk movie a couple years ago by Chris
Hmm.
Nolan and Saving Private Ryan. It gives that kind of like you're going to be watching some screen accurate shit when you see that movie. It's not going to be something that they filmed in a studio backlot. With smoke effect. This is a big production film. This 1917.
Right. Then we have, Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker that's still currently
Mm-hmm.
playing. We
Okay.
have a new movie called Like a Boss, and we have Jumanji: The Next Level. Have the
Mhm.
new movie that came out called Underworld, not Underworld,
Oh,
Underwater.
underwater. That looks
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, it
That
does
let's
look
talk about
interesting.
that one for a second. That one gives me this modern day era's version of what was the one with Ed Harris from the 80s? The Abyss.
Yes.
I get like an Abyss vibe from it, but with today's filmmaking techniques although don't take not taking anything away from the Abyss, because the Abyss was one of Industrial Light and Magic's first big CGI, doing that creature that was using the water to have a physical.
Hmm.
Being able to do that was one of the earliest Industrial Light and Magic special effects prior to them making dinosaurs come to life in '93 with the original Jurassic Park. I mean, that's the same special effects team.
Right.
But
And
this movie gives me a vibe of The Abyss, but modern day setting.
and the Abyss still holds up to today.
It does.
You can still watch that and be like, wow, and still holds up to its current time.
It probably wouldn't hurt Abyss if they retouched it up and
Right.
released it enhanced, with transfer the film to digital and do all those little wonderments to it to clean it up some. But it definitely does still hold up if you are watching the DVD version from the 2000s and stuff. It still does hold up, like special effects wise.
And then we have the remake of The Grudge. Heard mixed reviews on that one, so that's something.
Are you and Lee gonna check that out?
Oh, probably when it comes on Netflix.
The $2 theater. Oh, wait for the house.
More like, wait for the house. We got that new animation with Tom Holland and Will Smith, Spies in Disguise. That's what I want to see. I want to see that one. And then Knives Out. It's been out for a while.
It's still in there, hanging on there. Huh?
Yep.
Oh, what do you know about Uncut Gems? What's your take on that?
I know that's an Adam Sandler film, and he plays pretty much a betting man or a con artist, you could say, and he pretty much gives a pretty good performance. A lot of people really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that he is an Oscar contention for his portrayal of this character in this film.
So that's something I would like.
He rarely makes serious movies, but when he does, it's normally really good.
Yeah. It takes a special kind of someone to go from his comedic background to do a serious movie, and that's why sometimes it's so hard for comedians or actors to transition like
Jim
that.
Carrey comes to mind. He's tried to dabble in the non-comedic fields, and it doesn't always go his way, but he still tries regardless.
Yeah. And have something called Bombshell. Don't know anything about that. So
nothing's coming to.
And then that one movie, Richard Jewell. Now I've heard that's a pretty good movie right there, about that security guard that supposedly stops the bombings in the Atlantic, the Olympics in Atlanta, Georgia back in the 90s.
They made a movie about that, huh?
Yeah. So I heard that was a pretty good movie right there. But those are all the releases that we have that are currently out this week. And if y'all have a $2 theater near y'all or in your area, here are some movies that might be in your area. I know that this is what's in my area. That one movie, Midway. I know we've discussed that before.
Yeah.
And then we have Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. That's a really good movie.
You saw that one. You saw that one.
I really enjoyed that movie. That was really good. I have to watch the first one. But after watching this one, The Mistress of Evil, got me curious to watch the other one again. So once that's released out on physical format, probably going to be buying both of those. Well, maybe not right away, but eventually having that in the collection. Then we have Dark Waters. Don't really remember anything about that. Do you?
Dark Waters. It doesn't sound. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, I know what that is. No, it's that Mark Ruffalo film when he plays that lawyer who's trying to something was going on in some town, it's a cover up, and like all this stuff is happening, and then
is it about Flint, Michigan, where they don't have no clean water in Flint, Michigan, or something?
Something like that, and it's where he was working with that company, but now he was working against it, and. So he finds out about all the stuff that they're doing wrong, and he's trying to correct all his mistakes. That
like a whistleblower movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Then we have the animation of the Addams Family.
Hmm.
I haven't even heard anybody talk about that movie, not one time,
Mm-mm.
I don't think.
I have no feedback on it either.
So that's probably another one I'll wait till it comes home. House. Then we have Black and Blue. I know that stars Tyrese Gibson, and
Mhm.
so that might be a pretty decent movie there. He's a
Is
decent
that the
actor.
one? Is that the one that's got the guy that was Crossbones in the MCU? Is he in it?
No, Tyrese is in maybe
Oh,
he, you know what? I really don't
the guy that
know.
was Crossbones, the one that betrayed Cap and Winter Soldier,
Yeah,
black slick hair. I think he might be in that film too. It's about crooked cops, I think.
yeah.
Blue.
I wouldn't be surprised if he was in that one. And then finally we have Terminator Dark Fate. So
Oh, did you
that's
see that? I don't remember.
no, I have not seen that one yet.
Oh, okay. So you're looking forward to the home release on that, aren't you?
If I can get to the $2 theater, I would prefer to see it there. But if not, then most definitely home release.
Because
So
you're such a fan of all these. I think I stopped watching the sequels after the one that had Christian Bale as John Connor. That's when I was like, I'm done.
oh,
Terminator lost me. The story is just too convoluted now, and
well, Terminator Salvation was actually pretty decent. They did start off on the right track. I just didn't care for Marcus,
Mhm.
the one that's supposed to be felt more human than machine.
The guy
So
from Avatar.
yeah, and oh, Sam Worthington that plays Marcus.
Yeah.
I didn't care. I didn't care for that character really. To be honest, I didn't. With the exception of that. But I felt that was going to be on the right track, but apparently it didn't do so well to warrant a sequel, and that's why Warner Brothers gave up on it. So, but other than that, that's all I got as far as release goes. So, you got anything to add?
Let's see. Um, Movie wise, definitely still trying to see Joker. Need to see it, and there's quite a few movies from 2019 that I still haven't seen that I really want to see. And at the very top of that list is definitely Joker. And I would also like to see the second Zombieland. So, and I'm really really interested in watching Ford versus Ferrari. That looks really well done too, and that's based on actual events. So, I always love those type movies too that tell where it's based on true stories. So when they throw that kind of money into it, midway, midway, I'm looking forward for that for home release. I would check that out as well. But
Right.
uh, definitely Joker is my number one that's out right now, release on home, that I'm either gonna have to break down and rent it or borrow it from a public library or somebody who gifts me with a digital copy. So
Right.
it's definitely I want to check it out though because Kevin saw it. You saw it in theaters. You've only watched it the one time, right?
Yes.
I'm sure you're eager to see it a second time by now, right? To
Oh
get
yeah.
some more.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that's all that comes to mind for me as far as films and movies right now.
All right.
Is there any news about Rise of Skywalker being on home release yet? Are they going to do a entire Star Wars saga, like all 9 Skywalker films in one set for like? I guess that'll be $300 on 4K.
No, I haven't read anything yet, but I will be keeping my eye on it so we can keep the public posted.
Yeah,
But
people are going to be trying to get rid of their single editions. In the meantime, sell them for what they get so they can pay for that when that comes out as a whole set on Blu-ray. All
not me. I like my DVD sets. So.
you're going to hang on to yours.
Oh yeah. Well, that's all I got. And Harry, I guess that's all you have too as well.
Yes.
Okay, well, that wraps up this week's edition of Dave's Corner. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope y'all got some good feedback on everything that we've discussed.
Yeah.
And let us know in the comments below if you know if there's anything that we need to improve or anything that you want us to mention in future installments of this weekly series. And other than that, that's it. I hope y'all have a good week, and we'll see y'all in the next. We will see y'all in the next episode.
That's right. See you guys next weekend for the second episode of Dave's Corner in 2020.